Hey guys, welcome to Tables and Tales, the podcast. Today I am super excited because I have one of my favorite people, Dior Bediako. She is simply magical, and I don't say that lightly. She's a life coach and the founder of Pepper Your Talk, and I can't wait for you guys to hear all the gems that she's about to drop. Let's tune in. Why is it that we like men that are not on social media?
I like a man who works hard. That's what I'm into. If you're not on social media because you feel like it's a distraction, that is perfectly fine for me. There are so many solutions in problems. Without like hurdles, you don't really know what you're made of.
Hi Dior, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I see a lot of food around me and I'm excited. When
Girl.
there's food involved, I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, that's good, that's good. Today we're going to be making pancakes. When I spoke to you, I heard you were an avid pancake lover, but are you a crepes girl or an American pancake
Yeah,
girl?
I need to stop saying pancakes because it's actually crepes.
Oh, okay, girl, because well, today we are going to have American style pancakes.
That's fine. Anything you make, Michelle, is always incredible. So I'm like, yeah, who am I to be
Okay,
fussy?
you're saying that before I've cooked it. But anyway, pancakes are like my sworn enemy, but we're going to give it a go. So, the main star of the dish is actually a blueberry sauce, which I think you're going to enjoy. It's got a bit of a whiskey and contra. I probably said that incorrectly, but you know, it's fine. But to start, we are going to kick it off with some mimosas. Are you a mimosa girly?
Absolutely. Any kind of adult drink is really good for me. So,
Okay,
yes.
maybe I've been drinking already because I can't find should have opened it before we started. But you know, it's all right. But welcome. I'm so happy to have you here.
Same.
And congratulations on all the success lately.
I should be saying the same right back to you, honestly, Michelle. Like, I think it's first of all incredible that we're doing this together.
Yes.
And then it's just amazing to see how well you're doing.
Thank you. Like I truly, I tell you every single time, I think you're magical. I love the fact that anybody that encounters you is going to be left better, like without a shadow of a doubt. And yes, that's a natural gift that you have, but it's also a skill that I think you invest time into bringing to life. So I love everything about you, and I can't wait to share with everyone, you know, all the things that make you magical.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
Big promise.
Okay.
With alcohol and food.
Okay, how do you like your mimosas? Is it like 90% champagne?
No. Let's do 50-50, a good 50-50.
Okay, y'all gonna
In
pretend you
drinks
didn't
and
see that
nothing
spell.
else.
50-50.
Yeah.
And nothing else. So no 50-50 with the
You
man?
caught that.
You're not going with 50-50
Do you know
with
what?
the man?
Let's stay away from that conversation. I think the internet has had enough of that conversation.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but tell us, unfiltered, 50-50 with the man or not? On a date. Let's start with a date, not even in life.
Oh, on a date? No. Not 50-50. Yeah. On a date.
So you never just want to like treat your man like...
Oh, if it's my partner,
Yeah.
or if it's like not a first date,
Yeah.
if it's a series of dates, then absolutely that's not a problem at all.
So if you went out with a guy and he like was like, okay, it's the end of the date, do you want to go Dutch? What are you saying?
I'm Stevie Wonder.
She said Dutch only at the pancakes.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I wouldn't argue with
Yeah.
that. It's not something I'm gonna like get aggressive about, or I'll be personally offended, and then I will take whatever action I need to take from there. Like, as in maybe won't talk again or whatever it is. I just don't. These things don't happen in my life. So
Okay, she said, who is that man? I can't see that man. If I saw that man walking down the road, I wouldn't know who that man was. I get it. That's okay. I understand. Okay, let's cheers.
Cheers, darling.
Ooh, happy Tables and Tales Day.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, that's good. That is good. That reminds me of when you're on holiday
I was just about to
and
say
they're always
that.
offering you like mimosas at 8 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
It reminds me of Christmas Day in Ghana. Yeah, that's
Really?
literally, as soon as I tasted it, I was like, oh, I can feel the sunshine.
Oh, I love that. And I know you said like growing up,
Yeah.
Pancake Day was a big tradition
Big,
for you.
still is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what, everyone comes around to the house?
Everybody was at my mum's. Growing up, everybody was at my mum's. All my friends, family, fake cousins, all the things.
Not the fake
siblings.
cousins.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, did you know who your fake cousins were, or did you just think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My family is my dad's got a lot of siblings. My mum's got a lot of siblings. So you knew who was like the immediate family, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't matter at all. It was
The
still
club.
family. The off.
We all fam. I love that you
Exactly.
speak TikTok.
Yeah.
That
Oh
is
my
fantastic
God.
for me.
How boring is it to talk to people who don't speak TikTok?
Listen, that's a dating requirement. Like, if you don't understand what I'm saying when it comes
You
to
know
TikTok,
what? Do you know what? I used to think it was a dating requirement until you meet a man who's not on social media and is so focused.
why is it that we like men that are not on social media?
I like a man who works hard. That's
So-
what I'm into. So if you're not on social media because you feel like it's a distraction and you just prefer to have like selective ignorance, go all in on your thing, that is perfectly fine for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will save I love doing this. I love saving like all the funny I've got folders for everything.
Yeah.
Baby folder on TikTok, buy now folder on TikTok, funny folder, cool/interesting folder.
damn.
And I'm not crazy organized, but in that sense I like it all to be laid out. And then you sit together, let's say on the sofa, nice evening.
Yeah.
And I pull out my funny folder on TikTok and we just go through
Oh,
it.
I love that.
Right?
Okay.
So I don't need you to be on TikTok. We can just have a moment where we
Yeah.
go through what I find funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, before we get carried away, because I feel like we can just start to have a chin wag about every and anything, I just
Uh-huh.
wanted to ask you some quick fire questions.
Let's go.
We did this when you were at my event.
Yes.
Some of your responses were controversial, but I'm hoping the Lord has been doing a work on you.
Let's see.
Okay, so first question, Miss Dior,
Mm-hmm.
hot or cold milk for cereal?
Oh, my cold.
Why?
Immediately cold.
Are you in the
so
tropics?
yummy. Huh?
Why? Are you in the tropics? Like,
I love a extra hot coffee. I'm not a cereal kind of person, too much of a cereal kind of person anyway. But if I'm having it, I want whatever cereal I'm having to be crunchy.
what's your go-to cereal?
I don't really have cereal, but if it would probably be like a Frosted Flakes. Yeah,
Okay.
Frosted Flakes.
Okay, so very, very sweet.
I
Okay.
was so into Weetabix at one point, and of course that's extra hot oat milk.
Weetabix is like, if you eat Weetabix,
Yeah.
you are closer to Christ than the rest of us.
Do you think?
Yeah, because Weetabix is actually punishment. It tastes
It's
like
so
oxygen.
gorgeous. No, it's absolutely stunning. Do you know what I'm eating for now? And I see the blueberries here.
Yeah.
This might be for a bit of the older girls.
Okay.
Fertility eating. It's not a thing that I've seen online, right? But everybody wants me to be so aware of my fertility. So it just dropped into every conversation. Have you checked? Would you freeze your eggs? This, that. So now I'm like, do you know what? Prevention is better than cure. Let me, of course, do the necessary like health stuff.
Yeah.
Health MOT, check in, see
Yeah.
what your egg reserves are, all of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But also food, exercise, your lifestyle plays a big part in it. And apparently blueberries are really good, the antioxidants and all of these things. I've changed not changed my whole diet, but
Yeah.
more conscious of including the things that say maintain like healthy fertility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You are clued up. We're gonna get onto that topic
Uh-huh.
of fertility and stuff soon. But okay, drums or flats when it comes to your wings?
Drums.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes don't you find it like enjoyable when you get the flat and then you get to like just pull the
You
meat?
put the
Like,
whole thing in
yeah,
your mouth and pull it out. Yeah, but there's more meat on the drum.
there is.
Yeah, let's just get straight to
There
the point.
is. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Vanilla or chocolate ice cream?
Oh, vanilla. Chocolate
Really?
is nasty.
Would you ever do a hazelnut chocolate ice cream?
Not really.
No. Okay. 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 So in your chicken burger, cheese or no cheese?
I'm not having a chicken burger.
Girl, why?
I love red meat. Like chicken is great.
Yeah.
Protein. Anyway, red meat's good for protein as well. But I'm just not gonna opt for a chicken burger.
Red meat. Like when I see vegans, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
you guys. Because me, a steak, a suya,
Mhm.
anything, like I am down for. Give me some
Yum.
good red meat.
Yum,
okay.
yum, yum, yum. So good.
Okay, finally,
Yeah.
a bit of controversy.
Okay.
Ghana jollof or Nigerian jollof?
Oh. This is like the 50-50 conversation. I just like to stay away from these things.
50-50?
Like the 50-50 money is a boring chat. Like the jollof is a boring chat. It's Ghana every time.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa,
It's a dead
stop!
chat.
Whoa!
Do you know what? I have converted so many people. There's a particular, in Ghana, we have this like lady who makes us jollof, right?
Yeah,
Anybody who has tasted that,
they're
the conversation
converted.
is quiet. My friend Lisa is super quiet.
Do you have the vegetables in the jollof?
No, I don't like that. Yeah.
Maybe I can give it to you. Maybe if somebody wants to book me a trip to Ghana, I can go and try some.
Oh, slide that in there.
Hi. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
let's get into it. The first time I think I encountered you was around when you launched Pepper Your Talk.
Oh my God. I've been
yeah,
here
there
for
was
10 years.
Yes, there was fashion events. Like I was stalking you online. I was like, who's this girl that can put together events and like people come out and it was like always fully booked and busy. But now it's like, and obviously I've been a part of your accountability group for those who don't know. But that's quite a transition, going from fashion events
Yeah.
to being a life coach now. Like, how did that change come about? What happened?
The vein of it is the same, like the backbone of it is the same. It was always about people connecting, like creating a community and giving people access to information. At that point, my life's dream was to be like a fashion professional.
Yeah.
Which I was. I was working at Burberry, and then I realized that so many young people didn't have opportunities to connect and
Yeah.
or weren't even getting jobs really. I was
Yeah.
really lucky that within the first month of leaving uni, I had a job.
Yeah.
So then the whole point of Pepper Your Talk was to use my skills, things that I knew I was naturally good at, public speaking, bringing people together, to create a community for people to have access to each other and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the main thing that made me pivot from that to coaching was money.
Okay.
So
I love the honesty.
100%.
Love it.
People say if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
And especially in business is a for-profit activity.
Yeah.
So if it's not making money, you can't really call it a business.
But there's so many of us running businesses where there's just
Yeah.
no profit.
Yeah, that's okay. It's
Yeah.
about figuring out how to get there. Like, what is
Yeah.
the point of this?
Yeah.
And a huge point of what I'm doing is to inspire people, to give people access to more of themselves.
Yeah.
And just to understand themselves better, to grow, to learn, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But also to better my life. And you need money to do that as well.
You do.
So, yeah. So it got to the pandemic. And finally, for me, it was an opportunity to be like, the world's quiet. I don't have to be out. I can actually like take some time to really figure out what's happening here. And what was happening was not very much. There was a lot happening on the surface, but I'm not that kind of person. I don't just want things to appear good. I want them to be good to its core. I want everything to be sustainable. I want there to be integrity. I want it to feel aligned.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. And I fought the good fight for as long as I could. Until I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've literally squeezed every drop I can out of this business, and I have supported so many people.
Yes.
Anybody that's been in any of my initiatives from the beginning, I don't give 100%. It's always 150. Every
You
single time.
honestly, even 200%.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And that's just me. It's not anything that I can even change about me. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting 20% of that energy back, right?
Yeah.
In terms of money. So
Yes.
then the pandemic came, and it was just such a blessing in so many ways. And I know the pandemic was a really tough time for a lot of people, so I am aware of what I'm saying in that that's not everybody's experience. But for me, I took it as an opportunity to sit down and just say, do what you're doing.
Yeah.
What you actually doing? And blessing upon blessings happened. Like my friend Chloe and Myris actually told me about marketing funnels, and I was like,
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
everything makes sense. Like, so Instagram isn't just this thing in a silo.
Yes.
It's a means to an end. It's supposed to lead people to take an action, for them to click on something, to go on your email list.
Yeah.
And I had an email. I had all the components. I had to put them together properly for it to lead to money.
Sometimes it just takes someone telling you like a little bit of information that will change
at
the
the
game
right
for
time,
you.
because I knew all this stuff, but I wasn't able to put it together in a way where it solved my problem. So you can have information,
True,
but information with wisdom, like actually knowing this is my problem, this is how I want it to be, this is what I need solved, and this is actually the solution. I actually have the solution.
And sometimes you need the right people in your life that are going to share that with you. And I say that because during the period I was working with you, I remember being like down in the dumps, like everybody's getting brand partnerships, but me, I was so sad. And you were like, I think I said to you, oh, no one's getting paid at the moment. And you were like, no, I know people who are getting paid. And I was like, I'm trying to sell my products, but no one's buying them. And you were like, okay, so let's reverse engineer. How many products do you want to sell in a year? How much money do you want to make? And then you said, okay, let's break that down. What does that look like per month? And then what do you need to do every week? And it felt like a light bulb just went off for me.
A pathway.
Literally, and I can imagine you probably do that day in, day out with people. What do you enjoy the most about being a life coach or working with entrepreneurs in your membership group?
That's such a good question. What do I enjoy the most?
Yeah.
I think it changes. It changes all the time, and I like that because it keeps it fresh. It's never like the same thing happening all the time. For example, yesterday we're in our money month in the group. Yeah, so we have monthly themes now. So I do 2 or 3 calls on each theme. I'll teach a bit, coach a bit, question a bit. And we were speaking about that, having a pathway. And I love when I see light bulbs go off for people. And of course, I'm the one teaching and coaching and all of that. But I don't think the light bulb is about, oh my God, Dior's my guru and she's amazing.
Right.
I think the light bulb is like a possibility they see for themselves. And you just watch people just wake up to realizing that, oh my God, I can do this. I can do this. So I think that's the consistent part that I'm always going to love.
Yeah.
And it always happens. And also being open to being wrong and
Yeah.
guiding the client to their wisdom, like what is the truth here. And I welcome people to be like, Dio, it's not quite that. So like I was talking to somebody yesterday on our group call, and she was talking about like declining an opportunity because she felt like she wasn't qualified. And she's like, is this a money thing? And I'm like, maybe it could be a money thing. Let's like talk about money for a bit.
Yeah.
Spoke about that. She's like, no. It ended up being an identity thing, right?
Okay.
But it's like, I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to get them to their own realization of their own wisdom.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it feels like, anyway, let me not speak for everybody. I was going to say sometimes when you're trying to offer assistance to other people, even if you're not a life coach, it takes intentionality to not insert yourself into the scenario, to not give advice based on what you would do, but based on what would actually be helpful for
the
them.
person. And I feel like as a coach, that's my job. Is to take myself, my ego, my experiences out of it to an extent, because my experiences are valuable and they do have a place in the conversation sometimes. But that's like more the teaching element of coaching, where it's like, actually, can I give you some suggestions? And if I give you some, give me some back as well. So you're nice. But yeah, it's nice because you kind of people ask me, do you ever get fatigued? Does it feel overwhelming? Do you like have this like empathy part of you where you come off a call and you're still thinking about what somebody said? And for the most part, no, because it's not about me. It's really truly about guiding the client to their own wisdom. And it's like it's their challenge and it's on them to solve it with my assistance and support. So I take away some clients' challenges and I'm like, okay, I want to learn more about this. This emotion is a really strong emotion. 3 people of like shame, for example, is a really powerful emotion. And I'll have a conversation with someone and I'm sensing shame and I'm like, okay, I want to do a big study on this. And I'll go and I'll learn about it, or I'll find a book on something. But it's not like my heart is heavy. And it's, do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about it, because I'm curious without it feeling like a burden.
I love that. I mean, even speaking of shame, I saw a series that you did recently where you spoke about being 33 and child-free. And I love the way that took off and I loved your perspective on it. And it's something that I think people would think, oh my God, I'm so ashamed that my life doesn't look the way I expected it to look, or I feel like I'm behind compared to where someone else is. What led you to kind of creating that series, or kind of the mindset shift in terms of, okay, I'm here and I'm going to embrace it?
Day to day, I love my life. I love, yes, if I was 21 and I was looking at a 33-year-old version of me and I'd see a woman who's not married, doesn't have children, I'd probably be like, huh? But being in that life today, there is nothing that feels misaligned. Everything feels I feel so blessed to be able to spend all my hours on me and other people if I choose to. And there's going to be a time when that's going to change, and I feel like I'll be even more ready for it. So day to day, as I'm living it, it feels fantastic. And sharing that online, oh God, it comes with its ups and its downs, doesn't it? Because
I can imagine, because the TikTok streets.
And some people feel like it's a performance. I'll tell you a funny story. My niece actually told me that my niece is 18 years old. Somebody said to her that she feels like I'm not really happy about my life.
I find that happens a lot online. Like I find sometimes like when people share, because there's this thing that happens where people are like, unfollow the people that make you unhappy. You know, most people online probably like, there's this need to assume that if people are sharing successes and wins or happiness, they're not really happy. They're just doing it for the gram. And I'm like, if you need to downplay or disqualify someone's happiness in some way to make yourself feel better, I think there's a problem there.
Absolutely. But most people aren't self-aware enough to understand that. And that's okay. That's why coaches have jobs, right?
I was going to say, get you a coach. Get you one of these.
But honestly, Michelle, the experience of even, first of all, the first 33 child-free and single video that I did was because I was in my house and I said, Dior, you said you're going to be consistent and you haven't posted anything. And I literally put together content from an event I did and then being in Portugal. I went under my covers like this so that I could have good sound quality, and I just spoke. And it went off. And then I said, okay, let me do this again. So it wasn't practiced. It wasn't a plan. And I didn't like it. I did not.
But you still posted it.
So no, when I say I didn't like it, when it took off, I called my friend and I was like, is this my brand? I don't think I want to say this again. And she's like, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying. I was like, I don't know. I said it because it's my truth. But now it's like, do I really want to be associated with it? Especially because, again, speaking of funnels, marketing, and business, I want my Instagram to lead people to my business.
Right.
I'll be so real in saying, I'm not trying to be an influencer.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
trying to be a very successful businesswoman.
Yeah.
That's why you see me show up on social
Yeah.
media. For business.
That purpose.
So then I said, this leans so much into the personal. Do I want to keep saying this thing? Because how does that represent the work I do as a coach?
Right.
And my friend was like, just run with it for now.
Yes.
At least for now. So I said, okay. I did another video. Again, I think a week or so go by. And then I was like, oh God, I haven't created any content.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just do it again. And I just used the opening line, 33, child free and single. And then I just spoke.
I love that.
And that video went crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. To the point where people from primary school, secondary school,
No.
like, I saw your video on TikTok. Someone that lives in my building messaged me. She's like, I saw your TikTok. Instantly wanted to run away from it.
Yeah.
And this is the behind the scenes of like things doing well, where you're like, oh God.
Because sometimes people see you doing well in whatever it is you're doing online, in business. And I think there's this assumption that if you're doing well, you have figured out how to be fearless. And I actually don't believe in that. I don't know what your perspective is, but for me, on my journey, I've come to learn that I can feel the fear and it's not a sign of something being wrong with me. I need to be courageous instead of trying to be fearless. Like the fear for me is going to exist anyway, but it's like, how do I work with that even if I feel it?
Yeah, I agree. I think I filmed a video that I didn't put out, but it was about, if you're waiting for certain feelings to not be present in your body, because that's the only place feelings are, right?
Yeah.
If you're waiting for certain feelings to not be present in your body before you do a certain thing, because you feel like the people who you admire don't have those feelings, and that's how they're able to do it, you're wrong.
Yeah.
They're doing it with the negative emotion and not allowing the negative emotion to stop them. And that's the difference, right? So, of course, I'm super proud of my life. I'm so proud of what I've achieved. I know the hard work I've put into it. To say 33, child free and single, it's not like that's my status. That's just my reality.
Ooh.
That's just it. Like, that's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also, if I
That's
wanted a
good.
partner, like, I always say to my friends, what is a man? They're so easy to get.
That's
Let's
so
be
funny.
so real. No, seriously. It's not.
What is a man?
Yeah, what it like. There's so many people that you could possibly click
It's true.
with. But I don't want things to just possibly click.
Yeah.
I want things to be very aligned. I was saying to you earlier that if things don't make sense, if I'm like, but how does that fit into the greater plan? I'm just gonna do it.
Instead of just kind of doing what everybody else expects you to do, or the status quo. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it wasn't easy.
You made a differentiation in terms of, this is my status and not my reality. And when
This is my reality.
This is my reality, not my status, yes. And when I think of you, I often think of the future self. For those who don't know, Dior is the queen of the future self. Would you say there's a difference between the future self and your best self?
No.
No?
No, yes, I would say that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to encourage people to feel like the future is, like, right now is not good and the future's better.
Yeah, okay.
To get to the future, you have to make today better.
Okay. Ooh.
So I don't want you to think of your future self as like, they are a better version of you in some sense, because you would have worked through some things, developed some things, been really intentional. But I don't want you to get in the habit of thinking that there is better. And actually, I was taught that in coaching. That was one of the big things we were taught in our course. Don't get into the habit of thinking there is better than here, because then you don't enjoy the journey. And I want everyone I work with to be process oriented and goal oriented at the same time. Have clear goals, state them as clearly as possible, to perfection. State your goals so clearly that you can see it. You can see it so clearly. You can see that day in your life where you have it. But at the same time, today's an important day. And let's love the journey today. Let's love it with no money. Love it with not a clear direction of how you're going to get there. Love it without the contacts. Love it without all the things that you feel like you need. Just love it right now. So I don't want to say that your future self is your best self. It's just another version where you've had more practice.
Okay, so if someone isn't familiar with the concept of future self and defining that, like, can you walk us through that? How would you explain that? Why is it important?
I would say your future self is just a version of you who has achieved your goal. That's just the simple way I like to say it. So I don't think there's a world in which there's a future self without a specific future self goal. I think the two go hand in hand. And the reason I like to assign a goal to that specific future self is because then we start creating a pathway, a process, a
I love
journey.
that.
And on that journey, you start developing you're not just running towards the goal, striving for a goal oriented, but you're also process oriented. And you realize that, okay, so every day this journey is supposed to make me more of the dream person I want to be. Not just have the goal, but refine and change and grow into a better person. So if it's more patient, if your future self is super patient, she doesn't just become patient at the end.
Yeah.
She's patient because every day you practice patience.
Yeah.
So life's going to give you opportunities to now practice this thing.
Yeah.
And every day you have to be alert enough to recognize it and say, okay, let me rise to the occasion now.
Yeah.
And I see rising to the occasion of like rising above who you presently are. So acting in a way that you don't fully know how, but you're going to try. So, yeah.
Okay, so we are done with my sketchy looking pancakes. I told you they are my sworn enemy, but they're going to be covered up in a lovely blueberry compote. Compote? Yes. It has a bit of whiskey. It's a sauce for the grown-ups, okay? So essentially what I'm going to do is combine all the ingredients in the pan and let it kind of just cook down for a minute. The full recipe will be on my website, but I think you're going to enjoy this. Okay, so whilst this is going, you have explained why the future self is so important.
Yeah.
But what about people who kind of don't have an understanding, they don't know where to begin when it comes to picturing their future self? What would you say to someone who maybe has no idea or doesn't know how to kind of dream about the future? Where would you tell them to start?
I have a whole module on this in the membership. It's even though I work with entrepreneurs, and the whole point of the membership is to build your business, there's also the point of building yourself. And I think there isn't success without feeling like a personal success. Like there isn't, business success is one thing, personal success is another thing. So really understanding who you are, have I developed in the ways I want to develop? Do I feel good about this journey? Am I managing my emotions, my mindset, all of the things? So where we start off in the membership is, I'm trying to remember, what is the first? We start with a evaluation of where you currently are, just to get an understanding of everything.
That's tough.
Yeah. There's set questions for it and everything. So it's not like you have to completely just have a big, like, but it's almost like a check-in. So once you have that awareness of like where you are presently, then it's like, okay, this is what's happening with me. Now where do I want to be?
Because I find sometimes we avoid that. Like checking into like where you are currently. Like sometimes you will set big goals and then it's hard to kind of assess and be like, okay, so where am I?
Which is why I've added for the past maybe 6 months, we've been doing a time planning call every Friday. And so the course split into 3 and it's 20 minutes of evaluation. We have set evaluation questions, 15 minutes of a big brain dump for the next week. So you're aware of all the tasks you need to complete, personal and business related tasks, so that you can then 20 minutes of scheduling it into your diary. Because a lot of people just want to be on the process, in the journey, moving. And it's like, no. Let's stop and evaluate. Like last month, our theme was essential action. And if you're not evaluating, you don't know what's essential.
100%.
You don't know what's actually working and what to eliminate and what to double down on. So,
because sometimes I feel like you end up doing, and I find the same sometimes with routines. Like we see someone, we like where they are, and then we end up just replicating what they're doing, not knowing if it actually works for us based on where we are and what we need.
Exactly. One of my friends said to me, one on a long walk, and he said, a lot of people don't know why they're successful. They don't know, so they can't really share that journey in truth. So whenever they get on podcasts or things or whatever, it's a some idea of the process, but we're not getting the full truth of like what actually worked.
Why do you
because
think
they don't know themselves. Success is relevant. I would say I'm successful.
You are.
Personally and professionally, but because there's so much more I want to achieve, I'm like, success. But I will call myself successful. I think I am successful because I am true to myself. Nothing I am doing is an act. Nothing is, always keep talking about alignment, misaligned. And then I'm also doing things that are not my size just yet. So I'm always pushing myself to feel very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Trying new things constantly and not being afraid of it not working. Like it's okay. In fact, I always say I love problems. I love when problems arise in the business.
Don't let Nigerians hear you say that.
I know.
Hey!
It's the same as a 33 child free and single. My friend's partner was like, I don't think you should be professing that. I said, professing? It's my reality.
Nigerians can't even say they're sick. They'll say, I'm strong.
But the thing is, there are so many solutions in problems. And
Yeah.
without like hurdles, you don't really know what you're made of.
Yes.
And you don't know how to get to that next level. You don't know how to cross that bridge without actually saying, okay, what's the routine? What's the strategy?
Yeah.
What is the process here? So anytime I have current problems in my business. One of them is top of funnel. So ensuring that enough people see me, understand what the membership actually is, and want to sign up to it, or even just like are curious about, okay, who's this lady, what does she do, what's coaching, and I have a great community who are loyal, they show up for everything, but you always need like a flow of people coming into the business. So my current problem is top of funnel.
Okay, so
that's so exciting.
Because I know you are Dior, so you're going to figure out a solution some way, somehow, and then you will teach other people how to do that. But I've heard you speak about the membership, and I know things have slightly shifted since I was part of the accountability group. What would you say is the focus of the membership? Like, who is it for?
It is for people who desire. The main strapline outside of it being entrepreneurs, is people who know they're made for more. So where you currently are, you know this is not your final destination. You know you want so much more in your life. And the route that you have picked to get there is entrepreneurship. Okay. You understand that by way of being an entrepreneur, by building a business, you are building yourself, building the business, but also gaining all the personal gains on it, building your network, increasing your financial capabilities, creating legacy. There's just so many byproducts of it. So it's for anybody who either has an idea, started the business, wants to start the business again, wants to grow it. I wouldn't say it's particularly for like somebody who's going down the venture backed route or has investment. I think you could come and try and have a look, you can have a call, but it's mainly for, right now anyway, solopreneurs, people who have the business skill set themselves. So like a coach, a consultant, a fashion designer. Trying to think about who else we have. We have like a doctor in there who wants to do gynecological support for women and chronic pain. We have consultants. I'm trying to think about
quite a wide range of
people. Want to go into property. Nice. So it's almost like I have the skill set. I want to develop a team around this, a lean team. And I want to have an impact on people, but also make money. So that's what it is. And then we walk through your future self. Figure out what your beliefs are. So your mindset, limiting beliefs, eradicate that, because mindset is such a big piece. And then we work on the blueprint. What is that actual plan that's going to get you there? A lot of people in business are winging it. But then there's also some method to the madness.
And you hone in on mindset a lot, actually, now that you've mentioned it. Like, what is something that you think people kind of overlook a lot that's detrimental when it comes to mindset? Or what's something you wish more people understood?
I think people, from what I'm seeing a lot with the people I work with, is I think they think what they can say about themselves or who they say they are comes from results. And if they don't have results just yet, then they can't say they're this thing, or they feel really discouraged. And it's like, no. You are the thing before you. I got my first ever coaching client before I had a single coaching client, right? So I've been working with people doing career development, all of that kind of stuff. But when I said I want to pivot into coaching, and I specifically want to work with entrepreneurs at high level, my first client was a multi-millionaire, a man for that. Multi-millionaire business owner. I hadn't coached a single person since getting my qualification, but I stood on stage, I was interviewing someone, and I said, I'm a coach. And he booked me off the back of that. I don't have results from coaching. I didn't have results from coaching at that point. But because I was willing to embrace that identity ahead of time, that's what got me my first ideal client.
How is that different from faking it till you make it? Or do you
There's nothing fake about it. I had the qualification.
Okay,
I had the self-belief.
So would you object to people saying fake it till you make it?
I don't like it.
Why?
I don't like anything too negative. Like, I'm not going to encourage people to be speaking negatively for no reason. If we can find a better way to say it, let's do that. So I would say believe ahead of time.
Because you recently did a video, well, not recently, but I saw it on your TikTok, because I be stalking your TikTok, girl. But you were talking about kind of this whole idea of Delulu is the Salulu, and what's your perspective on it? Because you had an interesting take on it.
I don't like, a lot of people saying like, be delusional about your goals. When I researched the root of delusion, it means to lie, like to be deceitful. Everybody that knows me knows I do not like lies. That is my number one deal breaker. Lies of any kind make me sick.
You was looking at that man and say, you was a liar.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's not for me. I aim to be as honest as possible.
I love that.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But I try my best, right? And it takes a lot for me to like bareface lie to somebody. So to say I'm being delusional, deceiving yourself, why do you want to say that? Let's not say that.
What's the alternative approach? What's the better approach?
Have faith.
Okay, how is faith different from delusion?
Because delusion is deceit. Faith is believing the thing already exists. Whereas lying to yourself that this thing isn't real, but I'm going to pretend like it is. Whereas faith is, it is real. And I just have to figure how to get from A to B to have it.
Yeah.
It's very different. And it's a very different, I feel like deceiving yourself also relies on your own power and strength, right? It's like you constantly have to trick your own brain. Whereas with me, I'm doing life with God. I'm a Christian. So the power of the person who created the whole universe matched with my tenacity. Hello. We're going to win every time, right? And if we don't win, it's because it's not aligned. It's not in God's plan. That's okay. But deceit and like constantly lying to yourself to get somewhere, that's exhausting, number one. Number two, I don't think it's positive.
How do you figure out when there is alignment? Because I think it's something we hear online a lot.
Yeah.
Be in alignment. How does someone figure that out?
It's so different for everyone. I was thinking about this. I was thinking, did God give me this business? I was thinking this just this morning.
Yeah.
One of my friends, she got like a clear prophecy that like, this is the business you're supposed to do. With me, I was like, was I ever told that? I was like, no, I wasn't. But as I have walked on this journey, have I gotten signs that this is absolutely what I'm supposed to be doing? Yes. There was a year ago, I did a talk and I was going back and forth about adding Christian elements to it.
Yeah.
Should I not? And I realized, no, that's my way of evangelizing. I'm not going to be in the streets of Shoreditch. So yeah, that's not for me. Now, now it's not. Maybe it will change. Yeah. Maybe it will change. Who knows? But, and I was like, this is my ministry, right? So I am going to, of course, I'm going to bring God into it. To me, God is the truth.
Yeah.
Jesus is the truth.
So
like,
I'm
not, I don't have any doubt that this is the truth. So why would I not put that in my work?
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with somebody afterwards, and I just heard as clear as day, like God saying, you're going to have everything you want. Like, so to me, it was like by you using your gift in this way to help people, I have along the way just gotten confirmation, and it might change.
Yeah.
I also often ask myself, if God said give it all up today, even if it was booming,
I've heard you say that.
would I? Yeah.
Would you right now?
100%.
Really?
It would be hard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, in the blink of an eye, I just close my website and cancel all my plans. It would be so hard. It would be so challenging. But I would want to be obedient, and I mean, I don't think that's in the cards. And
You like Jesus? If you listen, just let me know.
I hope it's not, but if it is, it's because something better is in the future.
Ooh.
And that's having that faith, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy. I'm not gonna sit here for 1 second and pretend like that is easy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Ooh.
But it's not easy, but there's a peace that comes with it. And I think this is where a lot of people go wrong. They're like, everything should feel, if it's right, it should feel so easy. No.
Yeah, like, what's your take on I need to feel a peace about it before I make a move?
I think peace is an important element of the mix of emotions you feel.
Yeah.
And I think there will be other emotions present too.
Yeah.
So I think it's not peace and complete peace on its own.
Yeah.
It's okay for there to be like, do you know what, I'm scared and I'm slightly confused, but I have a peace about it. And I think that's the truth, because there's so many things that I'll never forget. Like the first event I did when I had the fashion stuff.
Yeah.
And I got in my car on the way to the event. I said, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, I genuinely, it just hit me what I was doing. I've got these senior leaders in fashion. I sent invites to everybody's office. They didn't know who I was, like the audience.
Yeah.
The speakers were these incredible people. The audience were like everybody I want to join my initial membership, right? And I got in my car and I was like, what am I doing? But I knew I could do it. And there was a peace. It's like, it's going to be great. But at the same time, I was scared. I was nervous. And of course, I showed up and I did what I needed to do.
Right.
But there was a mix of emotions.
Which is, to me, phenomenal that even with the uncertainty, you still moved forward. And we're going to touch on that in a second. But I'm going to plate up so you can have a taste. Now, I know you are not an American pancake girl. But like I said, the start of the show is this sauce. So let me show you guys what this looks like. It is a blueberry, can you see that? Little blueberry sauce. Like I said, it's for the grown folks because there's whiskey in there. and the other one that I can't pronounce. But let's get into it. So I love having this anytime I'm hosting a dinner party of any kind. So for dessert, I love serving. I think when we had dinner here, I did something like that, like the berry sauce at the base, and then some slice of cake topped with some sort of cream, creme fraiche, or sour cream. Now, I have made banana cake because to me, pancake and banana cake it's the only opportunity that you get to actually eat cake for breakfast and for brunch. Like, I still don't know the difference between banana bread and banana cake, but do you?
I love it.
You love it?
I don't need to know the difference. I love the taste, and that's all that matters.
Okay.
I call it banana bread.
Yeah.
I guess that makes it feel less like naughty, because straight up cake is like, oh, do you
No, because when you think about it, even with pancakes, it's like, but you're literally eating fried cake. Like,
I've never thought about it
Yeah.
like that. Maybe that's
It's
why
best
I
that we
love it,
don't.
because I love cake.
yeah.
I'm such a cake person. Like, me and my sister are
Really?
always on the hunt for like who makes the best cakes in London. Oh my! Right now, Eddie's Cakery Bar.
I keep hearing about them and I want to try. Okay, what's your favorite flavor of cake generally?
You cannot go wrong with like Victoria sponge, like plain vanilla. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah. If it's a birthday cake,
Yeah.
then just a normal sponge cake with
Yeah.
like buttercream icing, no jam preferably, but if there's jam, also not a big deal.
Okay.
And then I do like red velvet. I'm not like a huge chocolate cake kind of person.
Yeah.
It's a bit too rich, but again, if
Okay.
it's there, I'll try it. I
Okay, so
just
no
love
discrimination,
cake
equal opportunity. I love
for
it.
all the cakes.
I love it. Okay, so this is what this is going to look like. I'm going to put a spoon. So this is going to be for you to be able to taste.
So much.
You're so welcome. And then I'm going to give you less pancakes because I know you're somewhat averse to it. But still, with this sauce, honestly, it goes with everything. Like, and for me, it's kind of not deconstructed Victoria sponge, but if the jam in Victoria sponge was blueberry and not strawberry, is it strawberry in Victoria sponge? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I would go for that. So you let me know what you think because these cameras are here. If you don't like it, just
Do I just dive in
just
right now?
pretend. Yeah, I'm gonna get you some cutlery.
Thank you.
I just
It looks
absolutely
really good. It
love this.
smells really good.
Oh yay! It's
Everything's
the alcohol.
good.
Maybe it's the. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Okay.
Okay. So
Well, this is.
bon appetit.
You know what? Since I got I used to have lots of gaps in my teeth, so I feel like food would just slip right through, no drama. Since I got Invisalign, I have to eat with like
Let
a
me
mini,
pass through.
a mini like mirror beside me. Because I'm like, oh god, seriously, I'm not even joking. Not because I'm self-conscious about it, just
Yeah.
because I'm like, that's just not pleasant.
I
So
guess.
it's like, oh. But,
Me,
let's
I
go.
don't, when the food is there, I'm like, it's y'all business, and let me mind mine. Oh, those look so good together. Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh yay!
It really is. You baked this cake? This banana?
I did. So banana, and I just love having it that way, like with a sauce. Are we being evil? Someone in the crew really likes banana cake, but they ain't got none.
Good for me.
Mm.
Oh, it's so nice. I don't even want to go into the pancake. This is so
Mm.
good. This is my last day eating sweet things for a while.
You're giving it up?
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's so effective.
For how long?
I haven't put a date on it.
Okay.
I'm going to America next month, so I feel like
Oh, that is good.
yes.
Mm.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I
Mhm.
can taste that.
Even though I know that's not your typical pancake style, that tastes good. Let's see what you think.
Okay, so if I am having American pancakes, I like to have like a slice of the stack.
Yes. How do you feel about the butter on top, like how the Americans do it? Like a knob of butter.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to Sunday in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And all the parts with the butter were like my favorite bits. Again, it's an extremely thick pancake.
Yeah.
And I just had a tiny bit, but the butter made it better. Anything naughty,
Butter
right?
made it better.
Butter
Butter
made it
makes
better.
everything taste better. Guys, if you don't know, butter makes everything taste better. I know your GP has told you to cut it out, but butter changes lives. It might not make your situationship better, but it will make your food better.
I feel like,
See.
does the pancake have like a hint of a savoury kind of...
So not fully, but you always add to anything sweet you're making. You add. I don't know if you do it in
Salt.
crepes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you always add a bit of salt just to
Oh, I
balance
can-
it out.
It's so good. I can taste
Yeah.
it.
Otherwise, it's too sweet. Like when I tell people I'm adding salt to cakes, they look at me a bit crazy, but it makes a difference.
I put salt in my porridge for that reason.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like obviously it's
Just
sweet
to
with
balance
honey,
it.
and then
Yeah.
a pinch of salt, and it just makes it so good.
Okay. So What's the judgment on that? I'm treating you like how they do in Nando's. Whilst you're still chewing, they're like, is everything okay? Sorry.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we love it. But you're going back to the non-organic. Okay, I feel you.
No, I'm gonna be in between.
In between. Okay.
Yeah, so greedy.
Okay, so before we got into the pancakes, I think we were having a little back and forth about uncertainty because I know for some people to make a move, they have to be certain about how everything is going to pan out. What would you say to someone when it comes to kind of just being uncertain about the next step, but just moving anyway?
So there's no certainty in anything.
Yeah.
In anything. Everything that we feel is certain is because our mind has told us that.
Oh, wow.
Has created that certainty for us. So it's not that the object itself, the circumstance itself, the situation itself is certain.
Yeah.
It's that your mind has found something in it that it's pulled out and highlighted that this is what makes it certain.
Yeah.
So for any situation, you can create that.
Yeah.
You can create certainty about anything if you want.
Yeah.
I prefer for certainty to be less in the situation and more in the person. So I would say, I have a goal. Everybody knows my goal, right? To make 100K in a month.
I love it.
From my membership. And it's less about, oh my God, this is an incredible product, because I'm always going to be upgrading the membership, adding things, maybe even taking things away to make it more refined. Who knows? When I hit the 100K, I don't know what the product is, like where the product is going to stand.
Yeah.
Really happy with it right now, but it's a product.
Yes.
So it's always going to be changing. What I am sure of is I am the kind of person that can make 100K in a month. So the certainty goes from being on the product to being on the person.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so who do I need to be? What do I need to develop? It's a far more exciting journey for me. And it makes it less abstract. Because sometimes when you put it on the object, then you're off the hook a little bit. Yeah. But when you put it on yourself, it means you have to build this like bulletproof belief. Yeah. And I prefer that because you can take that to anything, to any area of your life.
See, putting it on yourself, I love the concept of that and it sounds great. But sometimes when life happens and things hit the fan, it's kind of like, oh, my emotions are just all over the place. And for years, I've loved the way you approach emotions. It's something that you say often that I'm going to let you share because y'all need to know this. What is your outlook when it comes to emotions or even duality of that, where you say, like questioning the reality, like,
oh yeah, this is the
reality versus emotion.
Yes, this is what we were taught in coaching. Yeah. So and it's in all the books. This morning I was listening to Think and Grow Rich. It's in that. It's in everything. It's in the Bible. It's everywhere. But to distill it down into a very simple term, it's like every time you go through a situation or just in anything that you don't have to be going through something. Just experiencing life. We often confuse our thoughts with the reality, and we think that the way we're thinking about something represents the truth of what it is. Yeah. So we say things like people say all the time. People say like, I'm not a confident person. That's not a fact, right? Yeah. That is something you've continued to think about yourself so much that it's become a belief, and then it's created when you're in situations you think, oh my God, I can't do this, and then it creates like, what's the opposite of confidence and an emotion? I don't know, but whatever that is, then you think you're not confident. Yeah. So instead of dealing with the facts of the situation, your thoughts are what are ruling the situation. They create emotions for you and then you run with that. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of a really simple example. The one that I love, you always often share, like when we were in the group, it was if someone said something and someone took offense, like one person might take offense and then the other person won't, because it doesn't mean anything to that person. So it's the filter. I'll give you an example. I put it in my newsletter a few weeks ago, and it was basically me giving that example of, say you meet somebody new and they say they're going to call you after work and they don't, and you're really upset about it, but at the same time, and this is me all the time, my friends have called me and I haven't called them back. My mom has texted me and I haven't opened it yet. In fact, loads of people have emailed me and I haven't had the chance to reach it yet. And none of that is creating any negative emotion for me, but then this one person is creating all that negative emotion, and it's not because of the situation, because the situation is clearly happening in multiple areas of your life. But whether you're the perpetrator or the one experiencing, maybe it's I've called a friend. One of my friends, Velma, she is notoriously bad at texting. I'll text her, she's never gonna respond, right? She's never gonna respond. She's one of my best friends. Yeah. I never get upset about it because I've put her in a certain context where I'm like, she's reliable, she's trustworthy, she's this, she's that. So I'm not thinking those negative feelings, but then when it's somebody else, you've put them in a context where they're rude, they're disrespectful, they don't care about me, and that's what's creating the emotion, the thought, the context, right? And that's not the truth. That's coming from your brain. And I literally even had to check myself like a few weeks ago because that's what was coming up for me. And I was like, oh, this is happening, and I thought, no, it's not happening. This is what you're creating. This is the mess you're creating in your own brain.
There's a lot of responsibility, girl. I don't know.
And we touched on that in the last point where it's like, put the certainty on you. Instead of it being in the object, put it on the person, put it on you. Blame doesn't have to come into this. And that's where people get it wrong because it's like, but then I'm putting everything on me and that's so weighty and it's negative. It's not. You don't, taking responsibility for a situation isn't the same as taking blame for it. So in me checking myself and saying, I know I'm creating this negative thing, I'm not blaming myself, I'm not beating myself up, I'm not being negative. I always say, I can do hard things without being hard on myself. That doesn't have to be how I handle it. I can still be really soft, give myself a lot of grace, understanding, while still dealing with something very serious and checking myself for it. So responsibility and blame are different. Just because you take it on doesn't mean it has to be negative. And I think we have to take responsibility for how we view the world because that creates the results we have in our life. So it's like if you're not happy with the way your life is, go into your brain and check what kind of world your thoughts are producing because that's probably where it's coming from.
You gotta G-check yourself.
Big time.
Okay, so Dior, you know, I could talk to you forever and ever, but I've got one more question for you before we wrap. In your journey to where you are now, in terms of, you know, being a life coach and doing all the amazing things that you're doing with your membership group, what would you say is the one lesson that you're struggling to learn the most that just keeps coming up for you over and over again?
Oh, such a good question. Presently, there's a specific, and I hope one day I have a testimony on this and I will share it publicly, but specifically, as much as I have spoken about trusting God, there is one area right now that I've been going back and forth with for age. I'm trying to surrender. And I think I want to highlight that because I think for everybody, I've spoken to my sisters about this, my friends about this, everybody has one area where they want an answer right now. And you can relate.
I got mine.
I think everybody has that, and I think that's what makes us human. I don't think there's going to be the absence of that for anybody ever. Because that's where you always go back and trust God with. So as much as I'm a coach, right? I'm not anybody's guru or God. God is the ultimate. That's the Almighty. I support you, but that's who my source is. So I would say the one thing that keeps people human and keeps people reaching out and building community is because they need support around them to help them with their challenges and stuff. So that's my one area, just trusting God with this one thing. And like I said, when I get my testimony, I will share. But it's that, and I think that's why I always say faith over delusion as well, because you have to have faith in that area. I don't know what's going to happen. And I do have certainty in me. I feel like based on who I am, it's going to be great. But you want some more. But I'm not going to get more right now.
So whilst you're not going to get more, what's helping you to surrender? Like to
the daily doing.
Okay.
Daily prayer, connecting with people, having just great conversations like this that remind you that these things are important. That yes, there will be uncertainty. Listen to sermons. Just trying to enjoy the whole process. You know, I speak a lot about being process oriented, but then there's parts of the process you're like, but I'm not enjoying this. But I'm trying.
And that's all that matters. And I love that you touched on having conversations like this and community as well, because part of the core of everything I do is reminding people that we're more alike than we are different. And when you have conversations with people and when you actually plug into community, you get to see that. And there's a bit of relief and comfort that comes from that. So that's literally the core of Tables and Tales, like having conversations. So I've loved talking to you. I love everything you do. You know, I think you're magical. Where can the people find you? Where can we go to learn about the membership? And just remind the people, who is it for? Like, who could use your help?
I wish there was one house that I could just kind of send you to. I might change the name of the membership.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, should I change the name of it? So I don't even want to say the website because it might change. Just go to my Instagram,
Amazing.
Dior Bediako, and then there'll be a link in the bio.
Okay. And who should tap into the membership?
Entrepreneurs who want to build their business and build themselves, who want accountability, support, and coaching as because you still get coaching from me one-to-one right now whilst it's at this site. Right? Whilst I have the capacity. A lot of people want to work one-to-one with me, and I'm like, you literally get one-to-one coaching from me in the group. So yeah,
And that's your thing of giving like 150% value, because most people would be like, you could be in the group, but you can't get the coaching. So I love that you offer that.
I want people to have to see the transformational power of coaching.
Yeah.
Like I want them to feel it. And whilst it's at this size, I can coach everyone, which is fantastic. Block out my Wednesdays and Thursdays. That's what I do. But when it grows, I'm gonna go.
Get it while you can. Oh, but honestly, I have loved having you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Hopefully you've gotten as much from the conversation as I have. I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode of Tables and Tales. I'll see you next time. Bye.